So in church this last Sunday, we started a new series about the 7 churches in the book of Revelation and about all the things that go on with them. And we're taking time and going through each church line by line and talking about what they have to say and what the author of Revelation, John, has to say to all those individual churches. And we started with the church of Ephesus, in which John talks about how they had love and passion and that has since fallen away. And while they're orthodox and right and proper and true, they just don't have any soul or fire in the belly or love and compassion. And that idea, the idea that John teases out of a graceless orthodoxy, is something that has been ringing in my head over these last few weeks, in part because of how often I see it both within our culture and within our churches. That often we have the right idea and structure, and when we do that, we think, job done my part, I have it figured out top to bottom, and we get to walk away and go home. And the reality is that what the gospel calls us to do in the actions of Jesus is often more than that. We need to have the right thinking, absolutely. Like, that's part of it. How we have things structured matters, and it matters a lot. But that alone is insufficient for what it means to be a good life. That kind of life and structure leads to a place where we are judgmental and bitter and jealous, and where our faith often feels fragile because it's just a construct of ideas. And what we see played out in the actions of Jesus, and which John is encouraging this church to re-embrace, is a sense of love and passion and care and concern, both for ourselves and family and for neighbors and the world writ large. You see that all the time. This shows up often in the scriptures, but I saw especially actually in a verse that we use for weddings. Now, this is a little insider knowledge. The verse that we use from 1 Corinthians that talks about love is never said amongst 2 people. It is said to a crowd that is in the midst of disagreement, and it is the essence of what John is referencing throughout this. But I want you to hear what Paul has to say about it. And he says, I will show you the most excellent way. If I speak in the tongues of men or angels, but I do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gifts of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I have nothing. The challenge before us, especially those of us in West Michigan, is not right thinking. It's not that we have to have all the parts figured out. We know our theology. Most of us know our Bible really well. It's not an issue within our heads, it's an issue within our hearts. Are we willing to actually learn and grow? Are we willing to love people? Are we willing to love the people that we disagree with? Are we willing to love people that are mean and mean-spirited to us? Are we willing to love the people around us regardless of the circumstances, right? I don't mean that we sign up for abuse or that we cause ourselves pain, but are we willing to be people of love? Because the reality is, that is the actual call of the gospel. That is the refrain again and again. For us to be the church beyond the building, beyond what we do on a Sunday in programs where everything is neat and structured and is good, for us to really become who we are to be, it takes love. For you to become who you really are to be, it takes some theology, sure, but what it really takes is a heart of love that bleeds and longs for friends and family to come see and be reconciled with the love of Christ. Grace and peace, friends. Have a good week.